young cocky kids, but I think the goal has changed, right? I think sometimes when the goal can dictate, the path, that's a bad thing sometimes.
With all that it could, live the life so endlessly.
I think the band is much more free now and willing to push boundaries and willing to take it on the chin and understand that the audience might not always be there yet wherever we're going. I think of this thing as an artistic adventure. Just because we're playing Rock in Rio this year on the top doesn't mean that we'll never be invited back, right? Or maybe it's the beginning of a relationship where it happens over and over and over. We are extremely grateful for this show and what we're doing here. And it is a full circle moment for us because we've been aware of Rock in Rio for a long, long, long time. Iron Maiden's live in Rock in Rio when I was a kid listening to that to now getting to headline it. We're just super grateful. And at the end of the day, having, this sort of ladder or it's probably less healthy than it seemed. To be very well-rounded. I think we are very aware of what records do very well in Brazil as opposed to other countries. For instance, what they're listening to in Jakarta is different than what Brazil's listening to. And we can see that now with, DSPs and streaming services. So that's interesting. We obviously have a narrative that we are building right now around Life is But a Dream. Sprinkled in will be unique things that we think really accentuate the show and make it more impactful, especially for a Brazilian audience. And I think it will be unique to Brazil. One thing that we know about records is that when you put a record out, people want to hear the old stuff. And then you put a new record out and then they want to hear the record before. And then you put new stuff out and they want to hear so the audience is always kind of one step behind in some ways. So as a band, you have to be very cognizant of that and you have to make sure extremely pointed on your narrative and what you're trying to accomplish.